Hey, everyone. Welcome to Storytelling Time, the place where every story comes alive. If you love getting lost in thrilling tales, gripping mysteries, and epic adventures, you're in the right spot. I'm your storyteller, and here, we don't just tell stories, we bring them to life. Whether it's fantasy, mystery, horror, or even a bit of comedy, we're all about immersion. So grab a snack, get comfy, and prepare for a journey that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Trust me, you won't want to miss a single chapter. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join the Storytelling Time family. Let's dive into the stories that await, starting now. The Reflection. The room felt claustrophobic. The walls pressed in on me, their stark white surfaces like the cold hands of a ghost reaching for me. My breath was shallow as I sat across from Officer Thompson, his sharp eyes never leaving my face. It was almost like he could see right through me, through all my lies, my fears, my confusion. I wasn't just terrified. I was lost. It had started so innocently, a murder mystery party. How could I have known it would spiral so far out of control? The events of the night before were nothing but fractured shards in my memory, impossible to piece together. The laughter, the costumes, the drama, all so vibrant at the time, yet now they seemed so far away, like a distant dream. Then there was the body. Lily's body. And the sickening knowledge that I had been part of it. I looked down at my hands, trembling in my lap, and tried to remember something, anything, that could explain how we'd gone from playing a silly game to someone ending up dead. But my mind was blank, except for flashes of fragmented memories. Lily's face, with that strange, old-age makeup plastered on, her smile too wide, too fake. Her eyes sparkling with mischief as she entered the room, the center of attention. Then nothing. The laughter of my cousins, the music thumping in the background, the clink of ice cubes in glasses, the shots being poured like they were going out of style. And then, the moment that stood out in the sea of hazy recollections. That photo. My phone buzzed early this morning, dragging me out of my groggy sleep. It was Elena, my cousin. She wanted the photo of the girls in costume from last night. Easy enough. I opened the Photos app, half blind from the headache and the whiskey still clinging to my senses, and there it was, the picture I had no memory of taking. The 5 of them, all dressed up, the starlet, the busybody, the social climber, the professor, and the old lady. But my focus landed on one person, Lily. She wasn't a part of the group. She had been an outsider, someone who wasn't even supposed to be there. Her face was striking, even with the makeup aging her 50 years. But there was something about her smile in that picture that unsettled me, something far too knowing, as if she had figured out the punchline of a joke that no one else understood. I didn't know what to make of it at the time. I was too hungover to care. I sent the photo to Elena and tried to get some sleep, but the buzzing in my head wouldn't stop. Then, the second message came through. Lee's dead, Elena's text had said. Simple. Direct. I didn't know how to respond. I thought she was messing with me, playing some sick prank. But then came the phone call, the call from Patrick, Lily's boyfriend. He told me she was dead. He said it like he was reading from a script, his voice flat, void of any real emotion. I had to get up. My legs were like jelly as I stumbled to the bathroom to splash some cold water on my face. Everything felt wrong. The world was wrong. But how could I explain that to someone? How could I explain that there was something dark about the way Lily had died? The police station was a nightmare. Elena was a mess, crying, asking everyone if they'd seen anything unusual. The others weren't much better, dazed, confused, their eyes wide with disbelief. They kept glancing at each other like they were trying to piece together their own fractured memories. I felt the same way. We were all shuffled into different rooms for questioning. A cold knot of dread tightened in my stomach. My lawyer had arrived, Vanessa, my cousin, looking calm and composed, but I could tell she was worried. She had that look in her eyes, the one that said we were already too deep into something to get out. Officer Thompson led me into one of the interview rooms. It was just like in the movies, bare walls, a long table, a single chair across from me. I sat down, my heart pounding in my chest, the sweat on my palms making my hands slick. "Ms. Carter," he said, his voice low, steady, as though he had all the time in the world to wait for me to crack. "We need to talk about last night. Can you tell me what happened after Lily left the party?" I didn't want to tell him the truth. I didn't even know the truth. But the question lingered in the air, like a weight pressing down on my chest. I tried to focus, tried to think. I'd seen Lily leave with Patrick. I remembered handing her a bottle of water. That was all. But there was something about the way she'd smiled at me when she took it. It wasn't just gratitude, it was knowing. Like she had already been aware of something I didn't understand. I don't remember much, I whispered. I gave her a water bottle, that's all. Officer Thompson didn't blink. He leaned forward. "Did you notice anything unusual about the bottle?" The knot in my stomach tightened. No. Why would I? I could feel my palms growing clammy. She was just thirsty. His gaze never left mine. "The thing is, Ms. Carter, we found traces of a foreign substance in that water bottle. It wasn't just water. And when we ran the tests, it looks like Lily went into anaphylactic shock. Her throat swelled up. She couldn't breathe. I froze. I could barely breathe myself. I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if I had seen anything strange, if the bottle had been tampered with. And yet, in the back of my mind, something stirred. A memory. A flash. I had to focus. I had to think. Then it hit me. The photo I had sent Elena. The reflection in the kitchen appliances. There was something there. I nodded, but my mind was racing. If I could just look at the photo again, maybe I could find something that would explain this. I had to. There was something important in it. I waited, my thoughts spiraling. And then it clicked. The reflection. There it was, in the corner of the shot, a glint of metal. It was Lucas. He was holding something small in his hand. A vial. I felt a sickening wave wash over me. Had Lucas been involved in this? Was he the one who had poisoned the water bottle? And why? I had to tell Officer Thompson. I had to make him see what I had seen. My head was spinning, the walls closing in around me. There was no escape. "Officer," I said, my voice shaky but determined, "I need to show you something. There's a photo on my phone. Passcode is 5560, my dad's birthday." He stared at me, not moving, but something in his gaze told me he understood. He took the phone, unlocked it, and found the photo I was talking about. I watched his face as he zoomed in, his expression darkening. "What is that?" he asked quietly. His voice had lost its earlier edge. "Look closely," I whispered. "Lucas. He's holding something in his hand. Something small. It's a vial." The officer didn't say anything, but I could see the shift in his expression. He was no longer looking at me like a suspect. He was starting to understand. Vanessa, my lawyer, walked in then, and she took one look at the photo. She didn't even have to say anything. "We need to get this to forensics now," she said, her voice sharp. But my thoughts were already elsewhere. Lucas had been there, in that moment. He had been so close. But why? What had he been planning? What was his motive? And then, the most terrifying thought of all occurred to me. What if Lucas wasn't the only one who knew what was in that vial? The truth was out there. And I had a sinking feeling that, no matter how hard I tried, I would never be able to outrun it. The game wasn't over. It had just begun.